Welcome to Ghoulish Gab, always spooky, always under 7 minutes. We're going to do another fun facts episode. We're going to talk fun facts about supernatural movies, ghosts and shit like that, ghostly shit.
Ghostly shit.
Ghosts taking shits. We're going to talk about that kind of shit.
I have no comments about ghosts taking shits.
I don't either.
I don't think ghosts poop.
I'm going to make a public apology. I don't have anything to say about that either. But why don't you start us off? What's a fun fact about a supernatural type movie that you found?
So with Paranormal Activity, those actors, which there were only, I guess, 8 actors originally, and then only 5 made it into the actual movie. But those actors were not given any scripts. They were just given general guidelines on how to behave and what to discuss to make it feel more naturally like this is a home video.
Okay.
Which would make sense because there's also complete 10 days of filming. And I guess the crew had to wear all black because they filmed it in this person's house. And the person is apparently somebody famous. I don't know their name. It's a thing. But they have shiny, like, wooden floors. And then, like, all these appliances and shit in the house. So they made the crew wear all black so that their reflection would not show in the floor. Oh. And so that they could be more easily edited out of reflections from, like, the appliances and shit.
Somebody had a really greasy house. And you
greasy, man.
Had to wear black. Here, I'll start with this one from Ghostbusters 1984. Everybody loves that movie. Because they don't refer to Slimer as Slimer in that movie. Mm-hmm. They don't use a name for it. They named him later, I think, in the cartoon. But on set, Dan Aykroyd had just referred to it as the ghost of John Belushi, which I suppose there's a lot of good reasons why that couldn't be its official name. And you would want that to catch on. I think that was how it was kind of designed. Or that's just what Dan Aykroyd decided to start calling it. So that's what other people were calling it too. But yeah, eventually they had to rename it.
I don't have this in my notes, but I know this from my podcast. Dan Aykroyd's family has a huge history of paranormal investigation. So a ton of the information that they used in Ghostbusters was actually provided by Dan Aykroyd and his family to make it more relevant to people who actually enjoy paranormal investigation.
Interesting.
So, fun fact. The Exorcist from 1973. If you hit about the hour and 20-minute mark, you're going to get to the point where, you know, Reagan has the full, like, pea soup. So that was actually scripted to hit the priest in the chest, played by Jason Miller. But the tubing wasn't aimed correctly, and that's why he got hit in the face. So that, like, wiping his face off disgust was a genuine reaction that they kept in the film, and apparently Miller was pissed. I mean, it stayed in there. They made it work, but he was not pleased.
I probably wouldn't be either if I wasn't expecting it. Yeah, I mean, it worked out for the best. The House on Haunted Hill remake in 1999. Jeffrey Rush, his character was not originally meant to look like Vincent Price. They tried out some various looks, and at some point, the makeup people were instructed to give him a John Waters type look, and then
it looked like Vincent Price.
He ended up looking so much like Vincent Price. Then they were directed to just fully go for it, and that's kind of how that ended up. But yeah, I don't know if somebody didn't make the connection that if you were going to start trying to make him look like John Waters, that he was just going to end up looking like Vincent Price. But that's how the dots got connected there.
I guess it makes sense because if you look at John Waters and you look at Vincent Price, they don't look similar. But Jeffrey Rush looks way more like Vincent Price than he looks like John Waters.
Absolutely.
Yep. The Others from 2001.
Oh, yeah.
So Nicole Kidman. Yeah, Nicole Kidman. There's this scene where she's looking at this photo album where she thinks people are sleeping. And then it's revealed to her that they're dead. That was not just like a spooky thing they made up for the movie. That's a thing that genuinely happened in the Victorian era. Basically, photos were super expensive. That was not an easy thing to do. So a lot of times they would take a photograph after somebody had died because that was the only photograph you were going to have of that person to remember them by. So a lot of them were taken like that, where they're like laying down and they look like they're sleeping. But there were also several times where people would take photos of like, they'd prop up their dead child to like with their favorite toys. It was very morbid, but like you also kind of empathize with them because that's the only photo they're going to have of their loved one. It just so happens that they're dead.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
Now you have 70,000 photos of everything. And you're just like...
In my cell phone that I have not deleted.
Yeah. Never going to look at any of these. The Candyman sequel. So 1992, the original Candyman comes out. The Bernard Rose had originally intended for the sequels to kind of follow what John Carpenter originally intended for Halloween, and that the Candyman was not going to come back. They were going to use that franchise to explore other urban legends and type myths and things like that. But in this situation, of course, the studio was like, no, because you can't have Candyman 2 and not put Candyman in it, because people are going to want to see him, slicing up people's guts, and you're going to end up with something different. So that kind of got shut down, and then you got the Candyman sequel that is arguably okay.
Crimson Peak from 2015, the weird one where the sister's jerking off the brother.
Yeah,
that one. But anyway, apparently Guillermo del Toro has said that one of the inspirations for the film is actually a supernatural event that he experienced in person. While he was doing location scouting for the Hobbit trilogy when he was set to direct those films, he and some production members stayed at a haunted hotel in New Zealand, and he claims that one night, after midnight, he could hear sounds of a murder, including whimpering noises and screams coming from the vents. But when he checked the vents, the only connection was to this empty bathroom. There was nobody in there. There was nobody anybody could have been in there. Ghost shits, which fun connection. But this was the inspiration for the scene where Edith sees a ghost while in the bathtub.
Edith sees a ghost taking a shit while she's in the bathtub. How rude. How rude. We're just about out of time. Real quick, I have a real quick one. The Frighteners, 1989, was originally started as an episode of Tales from the Crypt. And Robert Zemeckis was like, nah, you dog, this has got to be a movie. And so, Peter Jackson ended up doing that as a movie instead. That's all the time we have. Tell us about some fun facts about supernatural movies that you know that we didn't get around to yet. And, okay, bye.